Porto of Benin. It looks like taken away from Togo. Most of the 13 million people of Benin, they live within 100 kilometers of the coast, which is 120 kilometers long. Let's see how far can we walk.
She's crazy.
Yeah, but the camera is so close to my face.
She's crazy.
Benin's beaches, including Grand Popo, are important nesting sites for various species of sea turtles. This is a part of wider West African turtle conservation area. Sea turtles in Benin are threatened by poaching, bycatch in fishing gear, habitat destruction, and pollution. Sea turtle eggs are also often taken for consumption or sale, and the turtles themselves are hunted for their meat or shells. Sea turtles in Benin are both a natural asset and a real challenge to protect, and this requires action by local communities, governments, and international organizations.
Their spine is connected to the shell.
So he discovered old ruins of the first hospital of the Dahomey Kingdom, which was this one. He said, this is where I want to spend the rest of my days, this is beautiful in Grand Popo. And then he launched this huge campaign in Finland that Finland needs a residency for artists, for writers to come and discover Africa, like a cultural bridge. Musicians, painters, photographers, filmmakers, you name it.
Artist paradise.
Yeah, artist paradise. We also recognize that researchers have a need to come to Africa, so we have a research station on the other side of the road, where we had a big project on vaccination against diarrhea. That's what we do. So we are a culture center, everything is for free, we have a library, we have about 50 events every year. Cafe Caro if you want a cold beer or something. Yeah, on the other side of the road.
All right.
Cheers.
How's the beer?
It's cold, refreshing, revitalizing, healthy, good best friend of a man and a woman. Apsolutna kapusta. Garāžā ņemam ēdienu. Tur ir katla, kur viņa nav redzējusi diennakti.
Ouidah street, same, nice, clean, like in Grand Popo.
Voodoo originated in the Aja, Fon, and other groups in Benin and Togo, spreading to the Americas through the transatlantic slave trade. It is most associated with Haiti. Around 17% practices voodoo here, higher percentage than in Togo or Nigeria.
So I'm DJ. These pythons are naturally harmless. Fear here is just mental This is the sanctuary is one of the most sacred places of the temple. So today is closed because today is not our market day. Market days are like, the market is like every 3 days.
It's 3 days.
Like market days is when you can come and pray. You come with what you have as offering. Some like goat, chicken, fruit. Who doesn't give can't receive. Like if you drink salt, you can't reap. This is a leaf called hyssop. HYSSOP. Hyssop is used for purification. It has nothing to do with witchcraft stuff, magic stuff.
So what is voodoo then in essence?
Whenever you mention voodoo, this is a bad thing. Like people start having negative ideas. Based on the 4 elements of the nature. Water, fire, air, and earth. Like each of our deities are like related to one of the elements of the nature. So when we say voodoo, how is even spelled is VODUN or DUN. So the first syllable means be relaxed. And the second means fetch. Be relaxed and fetch the positive energies that are embodied in the 4 elements of the nature to live longer, to live in peace, to live in happiness. The hoarder can use it for evil or for good. Like if you do good, what you get is good. When you do evil, what you get is evil. But when you're doing evil, that is no more voodoo. Voodoo is against witchcraft. Witchcraft is totally different. It's a way of living, a way to discover oneself through the nature.
Not cold.
Not that cold. Change their temperature according to the weather. Like if it feels hot, they feel cold. If it feels cold, they feel hot.
This is the largest stilt village in Africa, located on Lake Nokoi, and is often called the Venice of Africa. It was established by the Tofino people to escape slave traders. This village became a safe haven during the era of the transatlantic slave trade and remains a symbol of resilience. The village consists of houses, schools, churches, markets, and even a hospital, all built on stilts. Residents navigate the village using wooden canoes. Fishing is the primary livelihood. Traditional fishing techniques passed down through generations and are still in use. Now this is a popular tourist destination, offering boat tours that allow visitors to explore the village and learn about its history. Of course, tourism is a double-edged sword, providing income but also adding pressure on the fragile ecosystem.
This is nice. But I think you can't wear it. Uncomfortable. can see that huge Benin's flag in the background. The colors, the green, red and yellow, are Pan-African colors that symbolize strength after post-colonization, unity and freedom. And Benin gained independence from France in 1960, and their democratic government is from 1990, and they had dictatorship before, but now it seems very chill, very cool country. I said they gained independence in 1960, but they say it's 61, sorry. No matter how you look, you see the same.
1961.
Jesus Christ.
Chris, you just became Jesus.
If you're not careful, that's a very long fall. These are on the road all the time. In Benin, they have the traditional outfit. It's beautiful.
Dantokpa market in Cotonou is one of West Africa's largest open-air markets.
You pay? No.
We're almost done with Benin. This is our last day here. It was touristy. Tourism is not their main economy. It's cotton, agriculture, yam, cassava, and also gold that goes to Europe and China. But tourism, I think, will be soon a very big part of Benin's economy as well. One pineapple is 150 sefa and it's 23 euro cents. Awful! We're finishing our journey in Porto Novo, which is the capital city. I need to make a picture of this. Which is the capital city of Benin, even if local governments and embassies there in Cotonou. We just went there. And so that's our last day. Our conclusions. I think Benin is very touristy and it's very interesting, and there are many places we still didn't see. Though taxi drivers, tuk-tuk drivers, moto, everybody, they will try to cheat you, which is the sad part. The good part is that even if it's French-speaking country, the locals, they're trying to speak and understand English, which was the first country like this. What about you?
Yeah, I think overpricing is the issue. Very good thing is that the fruits are very delicious. Yeah, it's just a heaven for fruits.
Would we return? I think, yeah, we would come back to Benin, and it's good country to start your Africa because it's easier here. Yeah, good job, Benin.
Là, c'est ça,